I'm afraid of standing out, but honestly, I can't help but be different. Some of my earliest memories are being told I had a gift. It was to play music. I took up the violin when I was 6 years old, and I really excelled. My teacher invited me to do a solo piece in front of hundreds of people at my school, and they loved it. After that performance, I got invited to do things with the teacher outside of school. I went to this fiddle festival and saw all of these fellow violinists, bassists, and banjo players in cowboy outfits and on horseback, playing fiddle tunes for the judges to hear. And my teacher chose me to come with her, no one else. And you would think that I would be excited about this opportunity, but I was horrified. Not because I was nervous, but because no one else in my class was here. No one else went to this fiddle festival, and no one else was being invited by the teacher to play in things outside of school. So because I was afraid of sticking out and possibly being judged, I didn't practice. Afraid that if I did practice, that I would continue to stick out and be in more situations where I would be considered different. I coasted on my natural talent throughout elementary school and tried to be in the backdrop of all the ensembles I played in. But still, I had adults in my life tell me, you could be an amazing musician. Just practice 20 minutes a day, every day, and you can make the first chair. You could get a full ride at music college and on and on and on. I still had that itch to play music and be involved because I love to play, just not with the attention. I like the feeling of getting the right notes and learning the parts, hearing how I played into the joint sound of the ensemble, but just ignoring the praise. So I think subconsciously I thought, if I quit the violin, start a new instrument, and suck, people will stop caring and I can play in peace. So when I was 11, I picked up the drums. The conductor moved me from the front all the way to the back, and I loved it. I was learning the drums and it was great. I wasn't as comfortable, so I wasn't given any big parts, and I was right where I wanted to be. For a while. I practiced my drum rudiments, went to my lessons, attended practice, and slowly started to improve. I started going to this rock school downtown where I would play covers of popular songs with other kids my age. And I got good at the drums. The jazz band at my school let me play, even though it was only for high school kids. I did performances in clubs for the rock school, and everyone loved it. I went into the city to hang out with my drum teacher and his band, people that ended up doing a tour around the United States. Exciting stuff. But when I'd go to school and talk to people my own age, I felt so different. It was a good difference, but it didn't seem like it. Sticking out upset me. I didn't know how to make it stop, so when COVID hit in my 8th grade year, I took it as an excuse to rot for a while. Finally catch a break from the craziness that was the music life. So I quit. I started to learn how to make animations to get away from the past, like hitting a reset button. But COVID didn't last forever, and when things went back to normal in my 10th grade year, my parents convinced me to get back into music. It had been a while since I played, but I figured I would catch up no problem. I would just coast through these things like before. But high school is different. It's the big leagues. There are kids in here with dreams, a competitive spirit, and drive. It doesn't matter to them that there are people laughing, or their friends think they're stupid, or their parents don't approve. These kids want to make music. Good music. And they would sit together in the practice room and get good. Nail those parts, impress our director, and achieve. They were running towards the first chair part, not running away from it. They didn't care that people were watching. Hell, they wanted people to watch. Look at me play. I'm awesome. I saw these kids improve, some that started worse than me, but practiced and got really good in a short period of time. And as they got better, I got worse. I didn't practice. I was still afraid of attention or whatever. I was trying to do what I did before, but that just caused me to mess up my timings in rehearsal. And then the teasing started. Look at Greg. He's the simplest part in the entire ensemble, and he still can't get it right. Roars of laughter every time I messed up. My director was pissed, and I was at a loss. I managed to improve enough to survive my music parts throughout the rest of high school, and I actually got offered an opportunity to try for this music scholarship at a small college, but I dropped out after one semester due to not hacking it in the program, just like high school. After I quit college, I hit a low, and all I'll say about that low is that it caused me to get the help I needed, and once I got that help, I gained a lot of clarity and realized that if I'm going to have agency over my life, I will be seen. Every life path I've considered has been an unconventional one. Musician, YouTuber, traveling homeless guy, right? Like things that when you bring them up, raise some questions. But these are my desires. I can't really control them. If I want to fulfill them, I can't fly under the radar, avoid conflict or criticism, or stop what I'm doing in order to stay invisible. Doing those things will only cause me misery and failure. I know this from my past. And while I don't like the thought of being judged, if the life I want is behind that fear, then I see no sense in letting that fear dictate how I act. All right, that's gonna be all for today. See you in the next one.